The Fair Trading Commission is Jamaica's competition agency that is responsible to implement the Fair Competition Act of 1993. The Fair Trading Commission is an agency of the Ministry of Investment, Industry and Commerce. The purpose for the Fair Trading Commission is 1, to investigate economic activities that are deemed to be anti-competitive, and 2, to protect the interests of consumers. The Fair Trading Commission derives its power from the Fair Competition Act of 1993. The legislation prohibits any business activity that seeks to lessen competition. The 3 main objectives of the Fair Competition Act are 1, to encourage competition, 2, to ensure that all market players have equal opportunity in the market, and 3, to ensure that consumers benefit from better prices, better services. The work of the FTC involves 1, to investigate complaints, 2, to advocate, and 3, to carry out public education. It must be emphasized that one of the major investigative tools that we use at the Fair Trading Commission is that of conducting market study, and this will provide us with the relevant information so that an assessment can be made of the market. The Fair Competition Act covers any anti-competitive practices in the market. 2 core anti-competitive practices are 1, abuse of dominance by firm, and also any collusive activities that competitors may engage in. There are also other anti-competitive practices that falls under the Fair Competition Act, which directly affect both the consumer and it harm competitors, namely misleading advertising, double ticketing, and sale above advertised price. Misleading advertising involves basically a merchant who falsely represents any product or service so as to lure a consumer to purchase that product or service. So for example, if a retail store will put out an advertisement to say that all refrigerators are on sale, when indeed they are being sold at the regular market price, that would be considered as misleading advertising. So double ticketing is where a product is marked with 2 price tags, so one at a higher and one at a lower price, and the consumer is sold at the higher of the 2. So for example, say a retail store selling a handbag and it is marked at 4,500 and 3,500, but the merchant decides to sell the product to the consumer at the 4,500. In instances like this, we encourage merchants to sell the consumer the lower of the 2. So in this regard, it would be 3,500. Sale above advertised price. This is where a product is advertised at a particular price, but on cash out, the consumer is sold a product at a higher price. There are a few exceptions to this general rule of sale above advertised price. For example, if the price was advertised in a catalog and the merchant may put out a notice to say that it's an error in the catalog, then there won't be a breach on the Fair Competition Act for that particular conduct. Or if it's a situation where the catalog specifically states that it's only to a particular region and not to all branches, if there are several branches. So those are 3 common anti-competitive practices under the Fair Competition Act. All right, so based on the legislation, the Fair Competition Act, what we do at the Fair Trading Commission, we ensure that all market players, and that's both consumer and competitors, they are given an equal opportunity. So we would encourage consumers, if you feel as if the merchant try to mislead you in an advertisement, or if it's a situation where it's double ticketing, that they should lodge a complaint at the Fair Trading Commission. And for businesses, we'll encourage that if an enterprise feels as if they have been excluded from the market, that they should also lodge a complaint. And this can be done either through an abuse of dominance, or if an entity may believe that their competitors are colluding and to squeeze them out of the market, we would say they need to lodge a complaint at the Fair Trading Commission. We have had instances where a merchant or an enterprise may breach the Fair Competition Act, and after conducting investigation, and sometime after the investigation, we will make our findings to these enterprises. Sometimes they're willing to remedy that breach, and there are instances that we'd have to proceed to the court to make a final ruling. If a consumer feels as if he or her rights has been violated under the Fair Competition Act, we encourage them to, one, make contact with the Fair Trading Commission, and the contact can be via email, or they can call us or visit our office. Two, we will then conduct an interview, and during the interview process, we'll take a statement from the consumer. The statement, along with, we'll ask them to submit the relevant documentation to support the claim. And after the statement, then an assessment will be made by one of our officers to see whether or not it falls within the remit of the Fair Competition Act. If it does, we'll move on to the third process, and that is we will conduct an investigation. At the start of all investigation, we'll advise both the consumer and the merchant that we are investigating a particular conduct, and that it may result in a likely breach of the Fair Competition Act. At the end of the investigation, we'll make a conclusion, and we'll share the conclusion with both the consumer as well as the merchant. The fourth step is we will allow the merchant, we'll give that merchant the opportunity to remedy that breach under the Fair Competition Act. If the merchant is unwilling, we'll move on to the fifth step, and that is to take the matter before the court for a final ruling. And in terms of penalties, if it's an individual who has breached the Fair Competition Act, the court can rule up to $1 million. If it's a company, up to $5 million. So those are the general steps that we do in our work at the Fair Trading Commission. As long as the consumer provides us with the relevant documentation to support the claim, the investigative process doesn't usually take longer than 3 months. What we would always encourage consumers to do, if the 3 months time span has elapsed, make contact with the Fair Trading Commission. They can call us, or they can send us an email, and we will respond. It would depend on the alleged breach. So for example, if it's a situation where it's misleading advertising, we would ask that they provide us even with the advertisement, so whether it be in the newspaper or if it's something on the internet, they'll provide us with a printout so we are able to support or substantiate our claim. The Fair Trading Commission is here and ready to listen to all queries, question, and to take your complaints where necessary. And the Fair Trading Commission is actually an independent body, so we don't take sides. We listen to both sides of the story. We collect the information, because one of the important things that must be emphasized is that in conducting our work, we usually engage in market studies. So we collect information just to understand what's happening in that particular market. and before a conclusion is made on any issue. Feel free to call us if you feel as if your rights have been violated. You can contact us at ftc@cwjamaica.com, or you can call us at 876-960-0120, or you can visit our website at www.jftc.gov.jm. At the Fair Trading Commission, we're here to carry out our mandate, which is promoting competitive markets. We believe that a market that is competitive will benefit both consumer and the entire business community.